I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. They betray it, first world news. Where every headline's a revelation.
Hey, everybody. Luna is back. Never fear. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope your week is going well. Okay. Let me get right into it. Tonight's conversation is about something deeper than politics. It's about a question every generation of Americans eventually has to face. What do you do when standing by your beliefs comes with a price? Because the Constitution is easy to support when it's comfortable, right? Freedom is easy to defend when there's no risk, right? But the true test of a free people is what happens when the system looks you in the eye and says, comply or else. Our founders didn't write the Constitution for easy times. They wrote it for moments of pressure. Moments when fear is loud, moments when power expands, moments when ordinary citizens are forced to decide, will I bend or will I stand? Because rights don't disappear all at once. They erode slowly and quietly. One precedent, one example, one warning to the rest of the population. This could be you. And that's how power works, not just through laws, but through fear. Fear of speaking, fear of questioning, fear of being labeled, fear of losing your reputation, your livelihood, and even worse, your freedom. But here's the truth history teaches us over and over again. Every free society depends on ordinary people who decide there is a line that they will not cross. People who understand that your right only exists if you're willing to stand on them. Because the Constitution is not self-defending. It's just a piece of paper. It only lives when citizens live it, when they refuse to abandon it, and when they refuse to trade principle for comfort. And that kind of courage isn't loud, and it isn't glamorous. It's quiet, it's personal, and sometimes it's costly. Tonight's guest knows exactly what that cost can look like. Sean McHugh is a January 6th defendant who was later pardoned by President Trump himself. But before the headlines, before the labels, before the political narratives, he was an American citizen, a man with beliefs, a man who made choices, a man who found himself face to face with the full weight of the federal system. Because regardless of where people stand politically, one thing should concern every American. When the power of the government meets the life of a citizen, what happens next? What does the process look like? What does it feel like? What does it do to a person? And maybe most importantly, what does it mean to hold on to your convictions when everything around you is designed to make you surrender them? Because that's the real story we're talking about tonight. Not slogans, not headlines, not talking points. We're talking about pressure, isolation, fear, and the internal battle between survival and principle. History doesn't just remember the powerful. It remembers the people who refused to bend the knee when bending would have been easier. The ones who held on to their beliefs even when the consequences were real. Because the freedom doesn't survive through comfort. It survives through character, through people who decide, I will follow my conscience, I will stand by my principles, and I will not abandon what I believe is right, even if it costs me. That doesn't mean perfection. That doesn't mean agreement, but it does mean courage. And whether you see Sean as a controversial, misunderstood, or something in between, tonight is not about labels. It's about hearing a firsthand story, a human story, a story about what it means when the power of the state and the convictions of the individual collide. Because in a free country, the most important conversations aren't the comfortable ones. They're the honest ones. And if freedom means anything at all, it means we don't just listen to the voices that are approved. We listen to the people who lived it. So tonight, we're going beyond the narrative, beyond the politics, and into the personal experience of a man who stood by his beliefs and the price he paid for it. This is a conversation about conviction and about consequences and about what it really means to live in a country where freedom and power are constantly in tension. Please welcome tonight for me, Sean McHugh. Let me bring his video up. All right. Say hey, Sean, to everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Thanks for having me on, Linda.
Absolutely.
Good.
It's going to be fun. So
Yeah.
I always do Wednesday nights. We never know what we're going to get. Last guess, I think I picked badly. I might have to switch it to Monday when we're all damn skippy, but I think you're going to be just fine. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yay. So you're out on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, Auburn, California. It's just above Sacramento, about 15-minute drive above Sacramento.
Oh,
A little
yeah.
below Tahoe. Nice in the foothills here. It's been snowing, been
Yeah.
raining, so
I was going to say you're in the pretty part,
yeah,
you
it's
know.
pretty red up here still. So we're fighting to keep it that way.
You got to. Because I was in LA a few years ago, and holy shit skis, man. I was like, this is America? Like, this is what
Yeah.
we're calling America? I was like totally ashamed, and I had like secondhand embarrassment for Gavin Newsom. He's a shithead.
Yeah, he's a shame, man. I mean,
So-
taking all the money for that bullet train, taking all the money for the fires, not even helping out the victims, just to name a few.
They haven't even started
He is-
building on the train, have they?
No, but they spent money of it, though.
Yeah, of course they did. On his hair,
Yeah.
on his gel, and his
Exactly, yeah.
his hairdo. All right. So before we get into the big day, January 6th, right? We're just going to get to
Mhm.
know the human Sean, who he was,
Okay.
who you are behind the headlines. So for people who don't know you, since I kind of do know you. So for the rest of them, who was Sean McHugh before January 6th?
Before January 6th, I was doing way better than I am doing now. I'm doing okay now, but I started McHugh Construction and Electrical, and I was setting up generators down in Napa Valley because we have these rolling brownouts in California because of Newsom.
What's a brownout?
So a rolling brownout is where we can't afford to produce enough power than the state is consuming, so that we brown out certain sectors of the grid to stop them from using energy so that other people can have energy. And then also during fire season, we do that as well. So these wineries and ranches, the airport and stuff in Napa Valley, they pay high dollar for people like me to come in and set up Generac generators and keep their lights on when Newsom would brown them out.
Mm.
Yeah. And build custom homes as well, Lake Berryessa all the way up to almost Tahoe. So I had a couple crews going on. I had electrical crew and construction crew going on under McHugh Construction and Electrical, and I was doing very well. Had a relationship with my son. I took him to all of his sporting events, just pretty normal stuff. And my son's doing great, by the way. I'd just like to add, shout out to Tony, my son. He's going for valedictorian,
Ooh.
straight A's, and trying to get in Cal Poly, become an oncologist. He's very active in his church. He volunteers. So I have to give him props. Buddy, I love you.
Yes, you do. What an outstanding kid. My goodness.
He is a great kid.
Go Dad.
I got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I know that feeling, because sometimes it's like, doesn't matter what you do, they just go a different way than you expect, so kudos to you, for having your kid have it all together like that.
Yeah, no, he's really got his head screwed on straight. I'm super proud of him.
Good.
But I also was setting up a website based off of like Trevor Loudon's books that he writes. I don't know if any of your viewers or you are familiar with Trevor Loudon, but so he writes books on past and present congressmen, women, people, officials that have like ties to communism and stuff, or like, kind of like the dirty laundry. So my website was going to be like a nonpartisan website. It was going to be representedpeople.com because obviously we're not represented in Congress. So I wanted to get everybody involved in all 50 states, and like it would be like repthepeople.com, but it would be basically be like all your local, your state, and your federal Congress members, board members, everything. Basically listing what they say they stand for, who they're rubbing elbows with, and what their accolades actually are, and who they're taking donations from. So I was working on that before I got locked up as well.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that makes it hit differently knowing all that too.
Yeah.
Ooh. I bet you were pissed when all this happened. You were like, I'm the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy.
It didn't matter.
Of course not. Of course not. So we're working on your audio here a little bit. It's coming through on our production software just fine, but how it's translating out to Rumble and Insta is coming through on an echo. So if you could, until they get that fixed, just not that you're doing anything wrong right now, but if you can just speak slow enough for the echo not to bother anybody until we figure out what is happening here.
You got it.
Appreciate it. Okay, so that life you're describing before J6, what were your beliefs? Hold on a second. If you guys could let me know in the comments, am I also echoing, or is it just my guest? So what were your beliefs? So you talked about your career. You were in construction and you were doing some volunteering, helping with the local politics. What was that like at that time, dealing with all of the politics and stuff before you went in?
It was actually pretty motivating. I enjoyed it a lot. It wasn't very like controversial or anything. I never ran into like Antifa or any major problems with local law enforcement or officials. I was very motivated, and it was actually pretty good, before January 6th. Yeah, just meeting local people, making our signs. We'd make signs and stuff and go support like the Walk of Life locally here in Sacramento and things like that. But never really had any real controversy when it came to politics until January 6th.
Boy, did you have a conflict. What led you personally to actually go that day? What was your motivation to go to DC?
Well, it was when Trump said, come to DC on January 6th. It's going to be wild, and shit, he was right.
He won the popular vote that year as well.
Right, and just this last one.
Yeah.
That's the only vote that matters to the left.
So what was your mindset walking into, like, picturing yourself walking onto the field or wherever you were? What was going through your head?
I didn't know what to expect. I honestly thought that it was going to be historic in the aspect that we were going to contest the election on the House floor.
Right.
So I was there to support my elected officials to contest the election on the House floor, because since November of 2020, what you've seen was they said that all these lawsuits were adjudicated. So you had local state officials, you had candidates, and you also had citizens who were filing lawsuits for election fraud, and they were all shot down on no standing.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually were not adjudicated, but if they do not have standing, then who does?
Right.
So this was our last resort to really have our voices heard and to get the evidence on the House floor for C-SPAN for the whole world to see. So I thought we were going to be like in historic times, and that's why I wanted to show up and be there to support my president.
Well, I think it's really important that you're coming on right now, because there's a big, huge protest planned for March 15th in DC and around the country over basically what we've all discovered in the Epstein files, and holding our...
Absolutely disgusting, unfathomable.
I know it. I wish I was shocked, but, because my father comes from a family line of Masons, that of which one of his great uncle was a vice president for one of the Roosevelts. So they had been telling me, that this stuff was going on ever since I was a little kid. But it's, back then, I'm little, I'm young, and I'm just like, what? Like, no way. But then as the years have gone by, you saw more and more with social media being passed instantaneously. People can talk to each other. Like, I can message someone over in fucking Nigeria right now and show them what's going on over here, and vice versa, like right now. And they couldn't contain it so much. I was watching this start to, of course, everyone, it's a conspiracy theorist, you're crazy, this, that, and the other. You got all of that, because people don't want to believe that that's really happening. No. They don't want to believe it, so they tend to reject it right away.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't even want to go out on the streets and protest this right now. It's like, but you guys will protest everything else. But we're going to talk about eating babies and how the DOJ just admitted it, and you guys don't want to get it off your asses.
Oh, I know. I think a week before that protest flyer started going around for the March 15th, I was on my show saying, like, where the fuck are y'all at? Why are conservatives so damn pacifistic? Why can't we be loud and like a cockatoo like the Democrats are? You know what I'm saying? We need to be loud. We need to be showing our anger over this. If children don't deserve this, then everyone's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that was another reason I went to January 6th, because I wasn't going to leave my son, a nation that I knew was so corrupt. And I was yelling on the megaphone that they were protecting pedophiles that day.
Good.
And
nice.
And they labeled me a QAnon conspiracy theorist, and I'm not even Q.
Oh, and all that's come out. Did you know that that's come out a little bit in the Epstein files too? That it's basically undercover white hats in the military. That's Q. That's basically Q in the Epstein files. So all these QAnon people deserve an apology now too. So it's like,
Yeah, well, back when the Bolsheviks were around, they had like I forget what it was called, like Operation Trust the Plan. Mm-hmm. Basically like the QAnon slogan right now, and it caught like wildfire, and they thought the Russians were going to take out the Bolsheviks and stuff, and it was all just propaganda. So
there was
trust the plan. We are the plan.
We are the plan.
There's nobody coming to save us.
There you go.
Get off your ass.
There you go.
Get involved locally, and that's probably the best thing you could do, honestly.
I think part of the plan is to push us into fucking revolting. Like, I think they want it to happen. They either want they want some sort of breakdown of the system. And it's just like, well, releasing all these files, when I saw everyone getting quiet about it, and I'm just like, all you're doing is getting on here, posting a meme about it, and then you're just going to work. Like, you're not spending hours like I am every day streaming, trying to create a
keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I'm trying to create an army.
Patriots.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into that day.
All right.
Where were you physically at during that day? Like, take us
I was
through.
all,
Did they
You want me
know
to
this
be
was going to
here for this
happen?
one? You want me to be here for this one, babe?
I was all over the place. We started out. I got there on the 5th of January,
Mm-hmm.
and then we stayed at the Yotel. It was called Yotel DC.
Yotel.
It was right around. It was right around the corner from the George. So we would, since who was it? Muriel Bowser. I think she shut down all of the food, all the restaurants. So we would have to go over to the George to eat. But from there, the next day, January 6th, we got up early and we went down to Constitution Avenue and was it 6th or the ellipse right there? I think it's 6th Street. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we went down there by the Washington Monument. We met a bunch of people, but on our way there, we met Ray Epps. And
Okay.
yeah, and he was right there at the intersection of the ellipse. It was Constitution and 6th, I think.
Okay.
And I was yelling at in my megaphone at officers and the DOJ and shit. I think it was the FBI building, honestly, but he was all, come over here. You got a loud voice. You got a megaphone. You need to spread this message. We're going inside the Capitol at 1 p.m. Whether Trump's done speaking or not. And, I didn't honestly think we were going inside the Capitol. He just wanted me to get people to go to the Capitol, and I didn't go in the Capitol, just so everybody knows.
Asterix.
Yeah. But I was there with my mother and my buddy Ricky. He's here with me now, but yeah, so he told us to just say this message that that it didn't matter if Trump was done speaking or not, and to get people to come to the Capitol. And there are clips of me online. I have them on my laptop or whatnot, but I was saying we are going to the Capitol to peacefully protest. So, and Dr. Simone Gold, who's friends with my doctor, by the way.
Oh, cool.
She was planned. Yeah, she was planned to speak that day, and so was Mike Pompeo at the Capitol. So there were permits pulled for this venue.
Right.
And then when I got there, I guess the barricades got torn down before me. So. But then when we were up on the steps, I definitely hopped over. Like it wasn't even part of. They just put him in because of the inauguration that was going to happen. It was like this black gate or whatever. And then one officer said, "Yeah, this is where you want to be." Other officers were freaking out and attacking people just right off the bat, just physically with fists. You don't really see much of that online. But so I got up on the Lower West Terrace and I encouraged people to be there. I did.
Right.
I did.
I'm sure you didn't think all that was going to happen.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I can't see you trying to put someone in harm's way.
No, I wasn't trying to put anybody in. I said it in the past. If I did something wrong, I feel sorry about getting people to go to the Capitol because of what transpired.
You couldn't have known, though. You know what I mean? That's definitely something you should not hold yourself responsible for, because we all make our own decisions to go. I got the call a couple weeks ahead, like, don't go, something's gonna go down, don't go. And I was like really bummed. I almost went anyway, but I was like, maybe I should take their advice because this was. Go ahead.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be like Antifa or something.
Right.
And that's why I brought bear spray, because my mom said she wanted to go. And I just watched what's going on across the nation. They're hitting these people in the back of the head with bricks.
Right.
They're attacking elderly people.
Right.
I just wanted to be able to protect my mother from Antifa. And I knew you couldn't have guns in DC, so I didn't bring a gun. Well, I looked it up in the DC website and at the Capitol website. It's not illegal to have pepper spray or air spray in the Capitol.
Okay.
Or in DC, period. So I thought I was safe, but they charged me with a deadly or dangerous weapon that day.
So on that note about weapons, because I was going to ask, so like in some of the pictures I've seen, you can see weird things like pitchforks and just like other weird things. Like, how do those things get there? Like, when did, like, so I picture in my mind, if I was there, like I'm like an owl. I watch everything, you know, and my head's on a swivel. So I would have probably picked up on the subtleties before it popped off. So did you see anyone like dropping off weapons, or did you see anyone going around like instigating, or anyone suspicious?
This is actually a really good question. Okay, so there's a couple points I want to make here. When we got to the Capitol on the Lower West Terrace, all of a sudden ladders started appearing, 2x4s started appearing. Yeah, well, they were doing construction there.
Oh, okay.
They were like building this stage. So the inauguration stage. But so there was a hatch, though, that I guess was left open.
Okay.
Okay. And so that's where you see like all these random objects coming from. And then also during that day, what was her name? Pittman. Her name was Pittman. She ran the security cameras. Well, we were going through a bunch of CCTV footage, and what we saw were officers opening the Capitol doors, setting bags outside of the doors and shutting the door. But these bags were full of OC spray, vests, pellet or pepper guns, and all sorts of stuff. And then the camera, once that picked that up, they just pan off so that it's not in the view anymore. Yeah, so they definitely left weapons for people to get.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of like reminds me of like back when George Floyd was going on. Remember like all the pallets of bricks that just like appeared? Like someone just dropped off bricks ahead of time. Like, oh, let's just conveniently place a pallet of bricks. Yeah, right. What
I
about?
didn't see any of that.
How did the atmosphere feel just before it popped off? Could you feel anything in the air subconsciously thinking back? Could you feel, was your spidey senses tingling?
Before it popped off?
Yeah.
Totally pumped. Totally freaking pumped.
Having
I wanted
a good
to be
time.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was ominous because earlier in the day, because, you know, all the city was shut down. There was no food, you know, and it was just totally crowded. But the vibe when we were out at the Ellipse, I mean, you just saw endless people out there, and you could literally feel the ground move. There were so many people, but
wow, like
it was just a mix,
that's crazy.
A mix of emotions.
Yeah,
you know, honestly.
Yeah, I honestly, jail or not, I would have had a glorious time the whole way through. The whole way through.
We made do.
Yeah. At what point did you realize that things were getting serious?
So as soon as they started throwing flash grenades, tear gas on a crowd that was singing the national anthem, and
so nobody was being violent before they threw them?
Well, something happened at the front of the crowd. But yes, nothing had happened for them to deploy tear gas and flashbangs on a crowd full of children and women that were not doing anything besides standing there. It was indiscriminate. They threw it out into the crowd. You have Kevin Greasom and Benjamin Phillips, who died because of this, from heart attacks and
what was his name?
Whatnot. Kevin Greasom and Benjamin Phillips.
Greasom, like grease from a car?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how to spell it, but yeah, like Greasom.
And who was the other guy?
Benjamin Phillips.
Why does that name sound so familiar to me, Benjamin Phillips?
Because they died on January 6th.
Yeah, I probably heard the name.
That's not funny.
No, I know what you mean. Just because it's like the name Benjamin Phillips is sticking in my memory. I must have heard his name because you always hear about Ashley Babbitt. They always talk about Ashley Babbitt. They never talk about Roseanne Boylan. And I haven't even heard of Kevin Greasham and the Benjamin Phillips. That definitely sounds familiar. I'm going to have to do some investigation on them, see if I can help them in any way.
Yeah, they loaded one of them up. I don't know who I saw, but they loaded one of them up on like one of them bike racks, and he was out of it. And they just carted him off. So that was something else I saw. Yeah.
How did he die?
They say a heart attack.
Oh, from the stress of everything.
I guess, yeah.
Jack says in the chat, they were definitely instigating going on. FBI for sure was involved with undercover officers. And then PD is saying, my son was there with another friend and he saw people showing up at the Capitol early that day. He had me on the phone watching streaming, and those that arrived didn't look right. They were about 50 yards. It's always interesting to hear people that were there also chime in on what they saw. And as you just zoom out and put all these people's pictures, their stories together, to me, it definitely lines up that this was like to get a riot popped off was definitely planned.
Yeah, I think was it Clay Higgins or Massey, I forget, questioned Comey on the buses. They were bringing in people from, it was DOJ buses. What are they called? Ghost buses. They're Ghostbusters or whatever.
Ghostbusters.
But they were bringing in the FBI undercover to this crowd, and they were actually going undercover as Antifa. Well, I've seen a video of MPD saying they were undercover as Antifa, but just a lot. There's so much to it. It's insane.
I also heard some FBI people and Kash Patel say that on the House floor when he was in a hearing, saying that Nancy Pelosi had denied, I guess, the National Guard and all that stuff that Trump had tried to set up before that day, and that she made the decision to bring in FBI people who were not trained in like riot control, crowd control, or anything, had different jobs with the FBI and helped that, give the manpower that day. So you had people who were like cafeteria workers in the FBI and just different things that were just suddenly put out to handle all this, which made me think of, when I heard this, it made me think of Trump's security detail the day he got shot in the ear, how they were also pulled from different departments and weren't used to the protocols and everything, And
they weren't even flying a drone that day for Trump, but that's the deep state at work. They know who all the corrupt ones are, and it's not even in the scope of the FBI to be doing crowd control or anything. That's why Trump pre-authorized, gave a signature to Bowser and to Nancy Pelosi and the Sergeant at Arms to have National Guard there. And that's in writing. And Kash Patel had the very unique position in the Pentagon to confirm all that and to see it all go down. So, yeah, I mean, this was orchestrated, and it had just came out recently that they were doing tabletop exercises in the FBI for January 6th. There's a lot there's a lot coming out. And it was actually the Boston field office that was responsible for that. So
I don't trust anything up in that DMV area. No one, nowhere. I don't even care if you're a private business. It seems like every single one of the, like everywhere you go, it's crawling with someone undercover or whatever. But it was definitely clear to me that they tabletop. That means like the little, in the movies, I think that's like when you're talking about when they put the little figurines on a table and they're like, this is going to be here. And you have like a mini building and like, we're going to put this group here. Is that what you're talking about on a tabletop mission?
Yeah, tabletop exercises. If people contested the election, what would happen?
Okay.
And even in that Gretchen Whitmer case, where they said that people were trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, that specific head of that FBI field office, he was transferred over to DC prior to January 6th. But while they were out over there in Michigan, they were storming the Capitol in Michigan, running, and they were doing tabletop exercises there too. So And specifically, I wanted to mention that those guys that did get charged or, tried for trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, it shows that there were more FBI agents involved than there were actual suspects. So most of them got off for being set up by the FBI.
My God.
So,
yeah.
Just want to point that out.
I been really digging deep into this Charlie Kirk, assassination. And not to get too deep into that because that's for another show, but it's just very clear to me that whoever has the guns who runs the government, and our military and Israel are very, very deeply involved with running our government. And it's really quite disturbing, actually. It's quite disturbing, especially because they want to track everybody's guns and all that stuff. So it's like if anything were to happen where a tyrannical government were to turn on us, it's just like, that's why my opening monologue was what it's about. It's like, what do you actually stand for? Because what if we, with the way everything's going, like, you don't know what timeline we're going to be in. We could be in World War III, or we could be with our own government trying to stop us, especially with however big.
I think they actually are trying to get us into World War III.
I do too.
And, some things I've been working on is just trying to be self-sustainable, because that's the ultimate revolution. I'm involved with some guys up in Alaska. I'm going up there this year. They're opening up a lodge. They have this own place on a lake. They do tours and stuff, but just like sustainable communities and stuff. So, but
you should come back.
What do you do?
You should come back for my so I do like prepper shows every now and then with my goddad, because he's like major prepper nerd, and so you should come back on when he's on. We talk about prepping. Yeah,
absolutely. But I think what you can do and what you should do is stand on your square and do everything to fight a tyrannical government, because it's your duty as an American.
Yes.
And you need to go down fighting and swinging.
You heard that, folks? He said it's your duty as an American citizen. You heard?
It is. It's absolutely your duty. Yeah. Forgot what I was going to say. So.
It's okay. Gives me a chance to get into the chat. Thanos is saying, "Hail, real Luna from the Sith Lord poet." Hi, Thanos. How are you, dear? PD says, we'll have to 1770s again, but the good guys, us, the 30 million veterans, will have to gear up soon. Yeah, it's looking like this is on people's minds. I mean, I'm running into more and more people thinking about this in the back of their mind. What do you think people most misunderstood about that day? What was the common thing? Was there anything that just kept making you go, ugh, that's not true?
Well, I mean, yeah, there was tons, there was tons of things, but I think what stood out the most, that we were there to stop the certification of the election. We weren't. The majority of people understood, like, hey, this is our last chance,
right,
to get the evidence on the House floor. And I thought someone was going to come out and speak and be like, yeah, we did it. We sent it back to the states. The other thing was that we were violent insurrectionists, right?
Oh, that drove me mad every time I heard that phrase.
I was never charged with insurrection. I wasn't fucking violent. My mother was shot in the back with rubber bullets.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
and sprayed in the face for saying, this is a peaceful protest. We just want our voices heard. They did not try to arrest her. They did not try to detain her. They didn't even try to detain me. So after she got sprayed in the face and then shot in the back with rubber bullets, I told her to get behind a wall, and I sprayed bear spray up into the air. And mainly I got all these idiots that were around me fighting with the cops and shit. I just wanted it to stop what was happening to us. So the term violent insurrectionist, most of the people that were charged with violence that day were actually just protecting either themselves or a woman or an elderly person that was next to them.
Right.
And that's straight up. For real.
I believe you, because that's what I've heard from others who were there. They were really just trying to protect the crowd from the fucking cops, really.
Seriously.
This is...
And it was that Shawnee Kirkov that started that started firing into the crowd. And she was the one that matched the biometrics to be the pipe bomber originally by Blaze Media. I think it was her still.
I do too.
And
I don't think it was
care.
that black kid that they're trying to say it was. They're just trying to pick a guy.
Seriously, and cover their ass, you know?
Yeah, I agree. What's something the public doesn't know that you can talk about that you want them to know?
That I want them to know.
Yeah, that they should know.
That they should know.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good one. Well, there is a lot that they should know. Well, okay, I'll say this. I mean, and they probably already do know it. I'm not going to give any dirty secrets on anybody in the gulag or anything like that, you know, but
darn. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I will say that all these officers, they switched their stories and they ended up sticking together and lying, just like Fanone and Dunn. They're like the most, you know, renowned, obvious liars that are out there as officers.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so let me correlate it this way. Just like Pam Bondi saying, hey, you know what? We can't actually prosecute everybody because it would take down our system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my judge said, well, hey, yeah, Sean, even though your rights might be being violated, but it's happening to all the J6ers as well. So it's not just you. So right there, he violated my due process. He violated my 14th Amendment right. He took a class of people and just rubber stamped corruption. And that's nothing new that's going on in America. Corruption is very alive and well. There are two sets of justice, two tiers of justice in our system. So I would just say, you know, don't believe everything that you hear on the headlines. Our rights were erroneously violated, and these officers lied all the way up to the FBI, the DOJ, and the people we were being watched by, and the DOC, and the judges. I mean, it's that crooked. It is that deep, and we've proven that they were violating our due process, and they still just rubber stamp it and keep it going. So,
well, that is coming out to be true, especially if you've been doing if anyone's been doing research on the child trafficking going on. I mean, CPS is a big part of the trafficking apparatus that the government uses to find kids, and they have a whole separate court system for CPS, and these judges are in on it all the way down to the sheriffs. I mean, it's like when you do the research, you find that obviously a conspiracy takes like multiple people to pull off a huge crime. So you're finding it's even down to the local authorities that are caught up with the feds because that's the only way to pull it off. You would have to have everybody down in on it all the way down to the local level. You would have to. I mean,
yeah. And unfortunately, in America, crime is the American dream, I guess. I mean, that's what everyone's doing. You know, everyone's corrupt, and you only fall upward.
Yeah.
You know, depending on how much crime you do and how much you cover your partner's ass that you're doing crime with. Pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah. Well, according to the Epstein files, the more powerful you wanted to be, the worse the things were that they had you participate in. It was like a trade-off. So it's like, I mean, everything you're saying tracks with everything I have been investigating and coming to conclusions about. It's just, it's like shocking in one hand just to know this is real life, but then not shocking on the other hand, because the Bible really, like, I wanted to reject that book so bad because I grew up in a cult. And it's like watching everything go down. I'm like, this motherfucking book is right. Is right. You know,
Jesus is king.
For sure.
Sorry.
No, definitely. Sorry. No, you shouldn't be. But the book of Revelation, it's just like interesting to like really go back and look at it now under the current times, and just to, like, you'll just be mind blown through the last few books going, oh my God, this shit is actually happening. Everything it said, you know, like they're really trying to bring forth the Antichrist, and all these crimes preying on
they
us.
They're trying to bring back their Messiah, and it's not ours.
Yeah, it's not. That's
But
what all
anybody
this is
paying
about.
attention,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, they're trying to fast track bringing back the Antichrist.
They really
Correct.
are. I think CERN was trying to change timelines just to avoid Armageddon. You know what I mean? It was just like, I don't know if you know anything about CERN, but you should look into it.
I know a
if
lot
you
about
don't.
CERN.
Yeah, CERN. That's a freaky place right there. I mean,
Hey, I've been here shortly after 2001, September 11th. Okay, I went when I figured out what our government did to us a long time ago. My family used to view me as crazy because I would tell them.
Right.
And now I have these same family members that kind of shunned me, coming up to me and showing me some love. So it's good.
Yeah, because you basically their prophet now, the family prophet. It's like, well, we should have listened to Sean.
Yeah.
No, bloke. Just kidding.
I'm
You're
sure a
old.
lot of people are going through that too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you? So after, okay. Describe describe the takedown. I want to hear how you got arrested. Okay. So obviously that day you didn't get arrested, right?
No. Okay. I didn't get arrested until May 27th,
Hold on.
2021.
When did you first realize you were being investigated? So before.
Oh, the FBI called my buddy Ricky, and yeah, and he called me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, the feds are calling me," and I was like, "Yeah, right, bullshit. I didn't do anything."
Right.
No. But then I saw some drones flying over my house, and then I saw some planes keep circling here.
Oh my God.
We got an airport here in Auburn, so and I know the route. They do racing here and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But this plane kept circling around, and then I had this Jeep and stuff following me to my work, and so I figured it out. But I'll just say this: I didn't get taken down like everybody else.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what the arrest process was like. What'd you do?
Yeah, I was actually on probation for a DUI.
Bad boy.
And I don't drink and drive anymore.
Good for you.
Viewers.
Good for you.
Yeah. I don't drink and drive
Good.
anymore at all. But so I was on probation for a DUI.
Mm-hmm.
And they had called me in. It was a misdemeanor. It was what do they call that? Non-formal. Yeah, non-formal probation.
Mm-hmm.
So they call me in. They go, "Yeah, you got to come test, and we want to talk to you." And I hadn't done that. I usually just check in online. So I was like, "This is weird. All right, whatever."
Right.
And so I figure something's up. And so I get in there, and then they bring me into the bathroom to pee for a drug test. And then I come out, and there was 20 FBI agents there saying that they were gonna present me with their indictment for assaulting police officer, 1512, obstructing of Congress, obstructing of official proceeding. I had a 13 count indictment.
This is why I say
and I really
freedom's
didn't
an
think
illusion.
I did that much.
Freedom's an illusion, because how would you know they have a law for stopping an official proceeding if you're going to go protest the proceeding? What the fuck?
Where we had permits pulled.
Where you what?
We had permits. There was permits pulled to be there at the Capitol.
Right. You did say
and never
that.
in history has it ever been cordoned off. It's a Supreme Court ruling that the Capitol grounds are grounds for people to protest. It's a First Amendment.
Right.
It's a First Amendment protected grounds. So
PD's saying
never in
you need
history
to
has this
sue-
ever happened.
Yeah, they're telling me in the chat that you need to sue Pelosi for all the crap that happened to you.
That's what I'm focused on. I am focused on getting my lawsuit done. I'm focused on getting all my assets and businesses in a private trust. I'm also focused on becoming an American national and not American citizen. There are differences.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the lawsuit that Trump filed for Mar-a-Lago, he filed as a national and had it paid to his the national treasury. And I'm doing these things through sacredhonoref.com. if anybody's interested. It's a very real thing, and Marco Rubio has already signed off on it for one of my buddies.
I'm interested. You might have to help me through that.
Give you the information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more concerned with my life right now, just being part of my community, being able to help my local community, and protecting myself and my assets and being self-sustainable. I think that's where my efforts are best these days. So.
Oh, I found some yams that are like you can't buy in the store or whatever. Someone gave me a pup, but I probably have 1,000 pounds of yam in my yard, and I can cut the tops because it's a nightshade, so it grows underground. So I can cut the top, the flowering part, and it'll still grow. The yams will be perfectly fine, so I can hide it by just mowing it down. You don't even know, but I could probably feed my whole neighborhood with the fucking yams I got growing, and I got echinacea. I got all kinds of shit in my little suburban yard that you would think is just gardening, but it's not. It's, hey, nobody come around my yard and start digging. I swear you get shot. All right. Don't you come around my yard. I'm from the country. I'm from the hills. So I should not be in suburbia. Like, this is not good for me. I really want to get out of it. I want to get back on land. You're talking about self-sustaining, and I think that's a must. It's just like having some space to yourself, because really a piece of land that you own, like, now I would feel like I feel American for real, like owning the dirt below my feet,
Making money off your own dirt that you own.
That's right.
Or being self-sustainable for sure.
So what was going through your mind knowing you had to, did you turn yourself in then, I take it?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a choice. Yeah, I went in for a probation checkup, and then,
what were you thinking and feeling, like, while you're getting arrested, quietly to yourself? Like,
something funny. So they presented me with the indictment. I just got out of the bathroom, and then I started sweating, and I felt sick, and I was like, man, I need to go back to the shitter.
Aww. I hate this, man. Like, I don't know. It's pulling on my heartstrings, man. It's fucking, just to know that this happened to a good person, it's just like, it makes me so mad. Because I would have been terrified. I'd have been like, oh, fuck. Like,
well, I wasn't terrified at first. I thought, like, you know what? I didn't do that much. I'm going to be out here in like probably less than a month. I'll just write it out. And then a couple days into it, I talked to my girlfriend. They're like, yeah, all the news agencies are out here, and they're saying that you tried to freaking kill people on January 6th. You tried to take over the government and all this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you even mean? And then, so I didn't really even understand the severity of it until I got into DC, which was, so I got arrested in May. I got into DC like late July. And then it kind of like, I was like, whoa, the hell is going on?
How were they treating you in the jail?
Oh, insane. They tried to get me stabbed right off the bat. So they put me, the guards did.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they put me in, me and Alan Byerly, we were like the only two January 6ers and white people that they put in this pod. And then they told them when we got in there, they're like, hey, these are the leaders of the racist hate group. All right, good luck. And slammed the door shut. Yeah, so that was fun. God. And then so we had to fight that night, and then a couple, like one night later, I think the very next night.
You had to fight that night?
Oh yeah, very first night.
What? You can't just casually stroll by that statement. Like, did they try to jump you guys, or what happened?
No, well, yeah, I mean, two of them did, but
OMG.
It was while. Yeah, we had to watch each other while we were taking showers.
I bet.
Because that's a vulnerable place, you know, and it's not on camera or whatever. But the guards didn't care. Come to find out, they were popping doors, letting people in that were okay. So how do I explain it? So
brainwashed
had
citizens who became corrections officers who think that they're needing to make you pay for something you didn't even do, torture you. Really, it sounds like.
Correct. Yeah. So, but the African guards that worked there, they were totally cool. They turned out to be like totally on our side. But
African guards.
Yeah, the African guards.
Because they know what real, actual, awful, like, bullshit
they were
really
real
is.
Christians.
Oh, yeah. There's that too. Okay.
Yeah, they were real Christians, you know, and they knew what life was about and how they got to where they are, and they appreciated the life that they have.
Right.
And so the American blacks, they hated the Africans. The Africans hated the American blacks that worked at the jail.
It. I know that all the time. Yeah, I've heard that with my clients. They don't like American blacks.
So the American blacks, when they would come on at night, they would pop the doors between the units and try to get me into altercations with other inmates. And I don't know if they had bets going or what, but that's something that we went through for the first 2 weeks, and getting piss and jizz cocktails thrown into your bean slot, you know, and so you got to put up your mattress so it doesn't come through, because the cell they gave us, the bean slot didn't close naturally. And so that's what we had to look forward to. But that only lasted a couple of days. Finally, I got to talking to a lot of the guys, and they saw that I'd fight back. And
hell yeah, throwing some semen in my shit. You about to get your ass stomped. I go.
No, it was crazy. No. It was the most insane thing, honestly. And they warned me about it in Brady County. They were like, "Yo, yeah, you need to watch out for them DC guys, man. They're crazy. They got a reputation to keep up. But you got to watch out for the toe tappers and the gunners." And I was like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The toe tappers and the gunners?"
Yeah.
Like, well, the gunners, man, they'll just sit there and they'll be gunning you down, you know? They'll be gunning you down. And sure as shit, their pants were dropped and they were just sitting there gunning me down, saying they were going to rape me.
Oh my God. The toe.
And then you had
the toe.
And then you had the toe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow your channel up. Okay, so the toe tappers.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down for it.
All right, the toe tappers, they would be sitting in line to get their meds, or like looking at the nurses, and they'd have a string tied to their toe and the other side tied to their to their dick, and they'd just be sitting there tapping their toe. Fucking real weirdos, man.
That's fucking creative, man. I almost can't hate on it. I'm like, what the fuck? That would give
Some
you
real weirdos, though.
Yeah.
Real.
So, you want to get a shoestring burn on your dick? Okay, sounds all right. Whatever. That's desperation.
So that's what I was thrown into. You know, is just this
some
weird
sickos, man.
Dude, this just weird environment. It's not even life. It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the freaking. You think this is the Twilight Zone, what we're living in now. This was insane. This was just like, I wish it on nobody. But so I went through a couple fights and a lot of weird shit the first couple of weeks. And then I complained. I got thrown in the hole. And then like a week later, I finally ended up in the January 6th pod. But we were still slammed for 24 hours a day. Well, basically like 23 hours a day.
It probably got better for you guys, at least emotionally and mentally, to be like together in one pod.
Yeah, no, it was great. We would talk to each other through the vents.
Yeah.
Get to know each other's stories. We were always there for each other. Mm-hmm. And we fought tooth and nail to get out of our cells. Yeah. And it was crazy. I ended up finding myself pulling my beard out. It was just so intense, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. But by the time we actually finally got out, we had to fight for everything, whether it was a TV, a phone call, to get our haircut, a visit, whatever. We'd all just sit there and we'd lock arms, and they'd come in their little goon squad and their masks and everything, and spray us and beat us and break us up. But that's how we actually ended up winning the fight against these people. And we asked them, when is it going to stop? And the head of security, he said, "Oh, as soon as the FBI says so."
Yeah.
And seriously, I mean, the way we were treated came from the top down. It came directly from the FBI.
Who was the
came
director
directly
then?
from the DOJ.
Was it
Comey?
Comey, yeah. Comey. That fucking twat. It looks like a pencil.
Fucking faggot.
Yes, he looks
Sorry.
like a damn.
I mean that in the nicest way.
I don't. I'll get mean on anybody. I want them to fucking sue me. Come at me. I want the do it, please. I will fucking go to. Oh,
well, it's a great thing when they don't sue you, because obviously you're not wrong.
Yeah. So I think you mentioned your charges. What were your charges?
Obstruction of Congress.
Yeah.
Obstruction of official proceeding. I had a 111 B or A. I don't even know. I don't remember it. But it's assault against a federal officer with a deadly or dangerous weapon. I had 3 counts of that.
3.
Two of them were for just touching a sign.
Oh yes, so
touching
scary.
A handrail.
So scary, man.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
So
yeah. So your hand is now the deadly weapon, I guess. Deadly weapon is such a broad term too, because anything really can be a deadly weapon. So how long were you detained for in jail total?
Just under 4 years. 3 years, 8 months.
4 years. Oh my gosh. So they treated you like shit. What was the conditions of the jail? Was the jail like kept well? Food, all that stuff?
So the unit they ended up putting us in had mold all over the walls in our cells. The water would come through the walls and flood into our units. The water was brown. That would come out of the faucets.
Ew.
They would not let us have visits. They would not let us have any medical or...
I did hear that.
Any hygiene, We couldn't cut our hair.
Yeah, I heard they weren't even giving some of them that needed their heart medication. And let me pause you right here. Big Red One guy just rated my stream. Thank you so much, Big Red. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you so much. Anybody coming in, welcome to Thirst Trap News. I have a pardoned January 6th former political prisoner on my show. His name is Sean McHugh. He's given us all the nitty gritty about what happened when he was imprisoned after January 6th. All right, Big Red One guy. Yes, I will see you on Wednesday. Hi, Nina. Good to see you. And Reality Pocket. Good to see some familiar faces. If you guys have any questions for my guest, please send them in the chat. I will be opening the phone line. Actually, this is probably a good spot. Well, we don't even have the phone line tab open, but I'll get that opened up and maybe halfway through and let you guys call in and ask Sean some questions if you want to. If not, you can just keep sending them to me in the chat. He's a pretty easy guy to deal with, so I'm able to scoop over to the chat and look through without a massive clusterfuck of talking over each other.
Yeah, come on now.
Do you like my English accent there?
Actually, I think it's pretty good.
My mom has she's from Trinidad, so she was schooled by British Indians that had the British accent because they were like the house slaves from the British people. So the Trinidadians have a really pretty Caribbean accent. It's actually my favorite one, not because I'm biased, because I really actually honestly hate my mom, but the accent is so like, she says bird and turtle. So I think that's why it's easy for me to just switch in and out of it, But
that's good. You do great.
Thanks. Yeah, sometimes when I'm
thought it
like
was
feeling
good.
real sassy, it's just I call her Elsa. That's just because I just start talking like I'm from England and I don't know why. You gotta have fun in life. We're getting old, so you gotta let the kid
Yeah.
out every now and then.
Ain't getting any younger, that's for sure.
Man, bro, this aging thing is for the birds. It's for the
Yeah.
birds. All right, back to our topic. While we got all the newbies in, you were talking about the conditions. That's what we were talking about. The flooding, the brown shit water. So did you have to drink that shit water?
Yeah. For a while we did, but then they offered us bottled water on commissary, so we'd have to pay for our water. And then they eventually got the water fixed.
But this is
I
a
don't know what it
human
was.
right. It doesn't matter if you gouged a puppy's eye out or stole $3 from an old lady. Like, you have the right to like clean drinking water. Did you get sick from it?
No, I didn't get sick. I mean, maybe.
That's because you a working boy. That's because you got that backbone in you. You got
Yeah.
you in the dirt. You're in construction, so I'm
But
sure
when you see mold all over, it's black mold too.
that would
It's
have
not
been the
just like-
bigger problem, I think.
Yeah, when you see mold all over the place and water rushing into your cell, and you're not getting medical treatment,
Right.
you're not getting visits, you're not getting to go out in the sun to get vitamin D and to kill all these infections inside
Right.
of you, or just like, whatever. It's just like you're just this little freaking worm that lives inside of a. It's like you're not even human.
Yeah.
You just don't even get treated human. And then you have guards coming over saying they wish they could kill you. Guards coming over running you through a gauntlet because they're moving you to another side of the jail and they hit you on the way over. Like, I don't know if like how many January 6ers you've talked to, but
4.
we actually went through a lot.
Yeah.
We actually did go through quite a bit of
Well,
bullshit.
Clearly, they were told to make your stay at the lovely gulag as awful as possible.
It may,
Awful.
what is that? What is that? The Mockingbird? What do they say? May the odds ever be in your favor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yes, that's what happened to you. And let me tell you what, I was running for Congress during that time. And every time there was a microphone in my face, I talked about you guys because I was just infuriated hearing that there were men who needed their heart medication. And I've been around 3 cardiac events in my life. And I just can't understand, even as a prison guard, where in your mind you woke up one day, or a prison nurse. You are in the business of protecting human lives. That's why you're a nurse. Why you got up that morning and said, I'm going to let these guys die today. Is today going to be the day they're going to have a cardiac heart attack? I didn't know any of you, but I'm a
We'd be
patriot and
walking
I
through
felt.
the halls, and the guards would be like, "Oh, this motherfucker trumping right here.
Ew.
Oh, here. Oh, yeah. No, they didn't care. All the guards and all the medical personnel, they didn't care. They basically killed Bart Shively. They tried to kill Chris Worrell.
It's they treated you guys like you were part of that cult. Like the ones that, what are the fuck they're called?
They're the cult.
Yeah, but the ones that were drinking the Kool-Aid, where that phrase comes from, It's like they were treating you guys all like you were those people. It's wild. I just you would have thought that all y'all were my family members because I'm a patriot. I felt like my own was being treated cruelly and being tortured. So I couldn't not talk about it. It's just, but here we are today, and all that talking.
I appreciate it, Luna. And when I got out, you showed much love, and it was very
I
nice
wanted to
meet
make
you.
sure. Likewise, I want to make sure you knew that there were people who was very aware of your entire time in there, and I didn't want you to think that all that time was for nothing, because you guys really inspired a lot of people to be able to know that if they're not going to bend the knee, neither the fuck am I. You know what I'm saying?
And on the opposite end of the coin, as much shit as we went through, we all stuck together.
That's
and
the key,
we all,
probably.
Yeah, we all made it way better than we could have possibly imagined, and every moment was cherished. And every holiday when we finally were out of our cells, we'd we'd put on events with Mama Mickey, Ashley Babbitt's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She had the vigil outside.
Yes, I did know
and,
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very good. So
I heard they made you guys. It might have been you who told me this last year. I thought there was some sort of like shame walk they made you guys do sometimes, like when there was a vigil or something, like down the hallways.
They made us do the gauntlet one time. Yeah, when they were moving us across the jail. Yeah, some people got hit and punched in the gut and stuff.
Staying together,
but they would retaliate against us.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started that. They would retaliate against us, and they would
Mm-hmm.
shut off the phones. They'd shut off all communication and lock us in our cell and threaten us with violence. I mean, yeah, that was an everyday thing, though. But that's not what it's about. It's really about the spirit and the drive that all the January Sixers have.
That's why Jesus said, do not forsake the gathering of yourselves together. It is something about the energy exchange. You got to have that energy exchange between each other. Just being in a box, I could see alone, never having them. I could see how that would get very bleak very quickly.
Yeah, but we came together and we made it work,
Right.
and it's something I'll never forget. And I've created lifelong bonds throughout it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part mentally and emotionally?
The hardest part
Yeah.
was knowing how it was affecting my son, and not being able to be there for him and some of his most, his time of need, really,
Yeah.
for a father,
Yeah, because you
honestly.
can't get that back. Whenever I ask you guys these questions, that same question, everyone says knowing how hard it was on their families.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the toughest for me. Yep.
Jack says, I'm so sorry you went through that. God bless you. Nina is saying, heartbreaking. All the J6 political prisoners break my heart. Absolute bullshit. This whole thing was a setup. The fucking corrupt fake government was out of order. Those responsible should be hung at least. And then, swinging from the gallows.
Well,
I wouldn't mind
knowing
putting a
what I know
horse on
now-
each end of their limbs. That one would be fun too. Yeah.
knowing what I know now, if we all knew what we knew now and then January 6th happened, would you guys come with me and maybe do
Fuck yeah,
things
bro.
differently?
I would fight beside you any day, hands down.
I wish, I'll tell you what, if we really were insurrectionists, okay, let's just put it this way. There was like roughly almost 1 million people there.
Uh-huh.
Just say they had only a 30-round clip, each person. Okay, that's 300 million bullets. Do you really think that we could not have taken over that Capitol if we really wanted to?
Oh,
that was
exactly.
Not our goal, but what I'm saying is, like,
I
it
never
could've
thought
went
about that.
way different.
I never thought about that though. I guess that's true, absolutely. Because if that goes for the fact of what we could do for real if we really meant it, if we really wanted to, they wouldn't be
Right.
able to fucking do nothing. Because if that was 1 million of you guys, oh shit, yeah, y'all were definitely not trying to do that. Because they would have had no control over you guys.
And we weren't armed. I mean, like, yeah, I guess there was a pitchfork there. I guess there was, like, 2x4s and bear spray. But, like, we weren't. An insurrection is like taking over a government forcefully, right? We were there just protesting and they unloaded on us. So I just want everyone to know that.
Nina is saying absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely, stand together forever. And then Sean, I will be in Detroit, actually, unfortunately, here soon in June. So I will get back to you with that answer. I went to Detroit probably like 20 years ago and I was shifty then. So I wonder what I'm going to feel. He says Detroit is loaded with vacant property and abandoned property. Yuck. Don't give me the creeps. I have to go there for work. I'm now in the finance industry and I'm just kind of like, We were looking at me and my partner. We're just sending each other the concealed carry reciprocity for the two states, just making sure because we are definitely not going to go up there not strapped.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you're well within your rights.
Oh,
And,
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it has me a little nervous because Detroit's been popping for a while, so I can't even imagine now.
I can't see myself in Detroit, so good luck.
No, I'm gonna be dying to get home. I'm a country girl. I don't like all of that. You know, it was fun going to the city in general when I was young, but I'm not about that shit no mo. If I see people, I'm like, friend or foe. It's too stressful for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I have to stay indoors because that is how my mind is now. It's like I'm looking after what's happened with my oldest kid, which you and I think that's
getting old.
well, yeah. Well, I think this is why I have this soft spot for you because we're actually tied forever. Because you were at my home the day my spidey senses were going off. And I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but my nerves were through the roof through that podcast because I was feeling incoming, a spiritual like alarm was like, because that next morning, y'all left from the studio and I started looking at my watch because I'm like, if this girl does not come home. And sure enough, she didn't come home.
Yeah, I remember that.
You got to the studio right after that huge argument happened with me and her. And I
didn't even understand the scope of it until the next day when you explained it to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the newbies who haven't been following me for a really long time, I got some OGs in the chat. They know the story, but my oldest was consumed by the woke mind virus and she wants to take the boob saw and, be a man. And so it just got to a point where she was just like, I'm leaving because you will never understand kind of thing. And, so I just found her, Sean.
Good for you.
It took months. It took almost an entire year. I found her in January.
Are you serious? You just found her?
Yeah, I found her in January. And I think that happened in February when y'all were.
Yeah, it was almost a year.
Yeah. Yes. So, I'm at least sleeping better. Because I know where she is. No, I have to think I've been able to, now that I know where she is, that freed up some mental space for me to actually kind of just put it to bed and grieve it because it's very likely I'll never talk to her again. So, and it's not something I can say I'm okay with, but it's something that recovery has taught me. Everyone has their higher powers just like I do. And just like how my higher powers got my back, her higher powers got her back. And I have to believe that, or what do I have to hope in? This is her journey. I don't understand it. And I don't know why this is her journey. I can definitely feel it's a spiritual battle she's in. I don't think she truly wants to be a man. I think she's just dealing with a lot deeper things that I won't go into, I guess, publicly. But I think there's nothing I could have done as a mother because I think just like God had a crazy story for me to go through, I guess birthing warriors is just what my family does. And we all have our, huge battle we have to like overcome. And I have to trust that her higher power is going to have her back. And that's all I can do. Just pray to Jesus every day because I'm quick to anger.
Well, I wish the best for you, and I'll pray for you too.
Thank you. I mean,
that's got to be tough, and I can't even imagine. I get on Tony's ass about where he wants to go to college, and I'm like, no, you can't go there, But,
that did come up in one of her text messages to us when she finally started talking. She's like, and then I had to listen to you talk about going to this college about blah blah blah, and I'm just sitting there thinking my mom doesn't even know me, and I'm just like, what the fuck, like what? This is like.
Well, that's that public schooling and that brainwashing that they've been promoting for 50 years now. It's been a thing. So
thank you, Backwater.
Not your fault.
Yeah,
not your fault.
I've realized that this truly, everything we're talking about tonight, whether it's your situation that you went through, whether it's what I'm going through with my oldest, everything is spiritual. And this is all about showing that these dark, shadowy figures actually that are in operation are actually exposing the light by default. Physically, shadows expose where the light is. And I think a lot of what we're going through is just inevitable. And I think a lot of us are going to have casualties to the darkness. And you just got to hope that when this battle between dark and light comes to a head, that you've taught your kids how to find that light and to know what it is, and how to have that self-discipline to like just be uncomfortable sometimes to choose the light. And because it's going to win, you can see everything going on. I mean, all of this badness is like meant to happen. It's because the stronger it vibrates, then you have the same equal counterforce. I mean, that's just physics as well. So, I think.
Yeah, it's the yin and yang.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just hope that I can accept the way you've accepted and made these changes that you say you're focused on now, and like that those answers come to me too, because I've accepted the little dark spot on my kid, because we all have a dark spot, and it's just what it is. And this show was actually birthed because of me going through that, because I had to cry to somewhere.
Well, we have a lot more similarities than you'd know, but
that's what
we
makes
can talk
us
about those.
Yeah, for sure. Privately,
on
we can
another
do that.
time.
Yeah, definitely. That's what makes you lock arms, though. You can spot it in each other. When you're looking at somebody that's got a good moral compass, that's a warrior too. You can feel it off of them. You just know it. If you're one, you just feel each other, and then you're like, God puts all these events have to happen for all his warriors to like make contact and meet up. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, I do too, because it was pretty interesting. I took it pretty personal when January 6th happened,
Yeah.
and then I ended up meeting a lot of people, and some things just clicked. And
yes.
And yeah, it's just it's definitely a spiritual war we're all in, and it is good versus evil.
Yeah.
And
once we're
if you
sitting
know,
at
you
a
know.
point, exactly. I was born into a cult, man, and I never accepted it. And it's like, I just can see the perfect alignment of divine will, because how do you, like you said, it's about the fight against good and evil. And it's like, we all have that moment in life right there. If you're 40 at minimum 40, you know what I'm talking about. You have this moment where you're like, actually make the choice, where you realize it's all that, and you're like, no, I'm gonna clean my life up, and I'm gonna
20. I made it at significantly in my life. I made that decision at like 26 years old.
Ooh, young. Nice.
Yep.
What was the scenario?
But I had to fight to get away from
there you go, that part,
people, places, and things that I was involved with.
Yes.
So
it took me a long
while.
time.
Yeah, but it was my early 20s and like 18 through like early 20s where I really fucked up in life,
Yeah.
And then I got some DUIs.
Yeah. Trust me,
But
I
I
got
was
some
always
doozies
trying
too.
to pull away from this thing that I knew
Mm-hmm.
was interfering with my life.
Do you think people are born inherently good or evil?
Yeah, I do, actually.
I do too. I used to not believe that. I've just recently realized that, because sometimes certain people, when you said you just know, that's what I was getting at. Once you're at a point where people think it's okay to sexually mutilate children.
Right.
Once we're there.
That's what wood chippers were created for.
Right. If you've got people doing that, we are at the pinnacle of evil. What was going on behind the scenes with Epstein, going on now as a culture, using the medical apparatus and moral authority to fear monger you, because no one wants to be a bigot or no one wants to believe they're evil. And I think some people are just born with a darkness in them that's their path. That's what they're meant to be.
No, that's it. They have a dark passenger in them. They have this whatever you want to call it, but I'm just gonna say what it is. I mean,
it's to serve the dark side. It's one of his children.
It's the demons.
Satan's children. Just like Jesus. How could Satan not have his own children? If Satan could offer Jesus the governments of the world, then they were his, real and true. He was off.
Well, Satan tricks people to work for him.
True,
you know,
but I'm only
and like you
referencing.
see that through transhumanism, through this transgender movement.
But
through
I also think it goes deeper than that too, because I think the gullible people are like part of it. But I think
I think they're part of it.
He has
but
his
I think
children that
either
are
you're
born
into the dark or you're
Yeah.
born into the light.
Yeah.
I do.
Like
I
light
do.
workers. Everyone talks about light workers, but no one actually talks about dark workers. They're born too. You have to
Yeah,
be
they are.
to have to be able to have the bloodline and the privilege to participate
And the
in
wherewithal
mass, right?
to do what you're doing.
To participate in mass mind control. You
Yeah.
are born of the devil. And that's fine. I'm not here to judge it because it ain't my job. It's just my job to identify you.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
I'm glad you're not identifying me. So
I'm not decided yet. No, just kidding. No, I definitely after that happened with my kid, I put myself in recovery. So there's just a lot of things that are clicking in our conversation now. Just why you're sitting here, like, because you were there that day, and it's just kind of interesting. We haven't talked a whole bunch since then, but having this conversation with you is just kind of like it's hitting. Like you wanted the good ones.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I got away from a lot of people and things and ties to extended family that are just not good,
It always sucks when you have to lose family.
Yeah.
I'm
was a
never the
bummer,
one
and
that does that though. I'll never walk away from anybody that I love. I can't. I try sometimes. I try so hard, but now I think God just kind of removed them from my life, and it just kind of hurt to realize that some of those are my own family that's walking away from me, but they need to. Like it took me a while to realize like they need to because I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really lost much blood family other than the ones that
Yeah,
I've
you said
lost
extended.
to it was extended family and stuff.
Still, social matrix is it's a thing. You know what I mean? For us psychologically, we need constants when it comes to that. And when it just sucks, man. I lost a friend of mine recently just because of I'm apparently what I stand for is just too it's too proper, it's too prim and proper,
Too fucking based, bro.
yeah, I know. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if you got a problem with what I stand for, and I'm pretty fucking fun gal, if you got a problem with what I stand for, you piece of shit, honestly, period. And I'm like, I'm starting to realize this. I'm just like, yeah,
I'm pretty easy to get along with, and I like all type of people. I mean, like, but you start talking
till you see a drunk
crazy
Irish
shit.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, some of the best fights, man. I'll post up if I see any one of the Gaelic or Celtic people getting ready to brawl. I'll be like, oh, this is gonna be a good one. Let's watch this.
Yeah, it will
Yay.
be. You're absolutely right.
Oh yeah, because they have fun doing it. It's like watching MMA or boxing. It's like you're rooting for someone.
I'm going with the Irish guy.
Yes, always, always. Especially say something to trigger him. Just get in there and say one good triggering thing real quick right before, and just let him go. Wow. All right.
Oh, you know.
Yes,
You
I
know.
do. My dad's family, they're Scottish Vikings. So, I've seen a few of them. I know I'd start counting the beers. I'd be like, well, how many have we been? How many has Uncle Gary had? How many has he had? And then I just know, like, all right, let's put soft things around before the coffee table gets busted.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. So the pardon and the release. How did you find out that our president or our silverback gorilla with diamond nuts was pardoning you?
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with that statement. He's been one of the most prolific presidents that I've ever known. He's been the only president that's resonated with me ever in my lifetime.
Me too.
Yeah. So I knew that he was going to help us when he called in to the vigil with Mama Mickey It's like, I got a message for the J6ers.
Nice.
I just want you to know, as soon as I'm back, I got you. And that's when I got this tattoo right here of our boy.
Brilliant. Yep. Brilliant. Yep. It's got Trump's hair. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the Trump Punisher right there.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. Done good with that one. I
expected it immediately. I was actually upset on January 20th. I was like, why isn't this the first executive order he's signing? Like, right? The whole world revolves around me.
Yes.
I need to be out right now.
Yes.
Because prison was hell. But no, I was actually super excited. I had all my bags packed on January 20th. They came and got me that night. Mm-hmm. And they're like, McHugh, roll it up. You're going home. I was like, my bags are packed, bro. I'm ready to go.
I can see you coming through the wall.
Yeah. No, so. Oh. But it was in 2022 when I knew he was going to help us. And that's why I got his tattoo, the Trump Punisher. And he kept his word. You know, I just, we all wrote some letters to him. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much of an impact it made on him.
Apparently huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be huge.
Yeah. We were ecstatic.
You know, I ended up denying the pardon, actually.
Why is that? Interesting.
Yeah, so I was in the appeals process, and my lawyer at the time, he goes, hey, you know, since you're in the appeals process and you got this pardon, if you just end up denying the pardon, the government has agreed to drop your whole case, and then it's completely wiped off your record if I just file a motion asking him to do it.
You lucky fucking duck that you
So they got fucking pound of flesh out of me. They got 4 years out of me.
Right.
And I got no charges. But it's just so fucking convoluted. You know, like, for them to even... my God, they knew, like, most of these people that they locked up didn't deserve a fucking day in jail, you know?
Oh, I told Ryan when he got elected, because we hammered him about you guys. I mean, we hammered Trump about you guys. I said, this means everything to me, because what they got locked up for, if he does not pardon these guys and stick to his word, I told him I'm going to revolt. If no one else is, I'll do it by myself. I was like, because what this means for our country, if he ignores this, is the worst thing than anything going on. If he were to let that you guys stay in there, it would have been so bad, so bad.
I appreciate that, and I thank Trump for pardoning us and coming through.
But free speech. If you don't have that,
exactly.
You don't have a country.
I wasn't there to fucking hurt anybody. I mean, it's obvious, and most people weren't.
Right.
But I'm not in lockstep. I'm not like some MAGA tard or whatever you want to call it. You know, like, I'm not in lockstep with Trump and what his administration's doing.
You just do what's right. Yeah.
Yeah, do what's right.
Right.
If it means burning down this motherfucking corrupt government because they're all fucking satanic pedophile pieces of shit, then lock them up.
Let it burn.
And get them out of here.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah. You know, I go up and down with that. I have my days where I'm so pissed at him, and then I have days where I'm like, okay, because he's got to be up to something. Because do you remember when he was campaigning? He was like, we're going to release all the files.
Well, he's using it as leverage, I feel like.
That's definitely part of it. But remember how he was like campaigning off releasing the Epstein files, and then it took him fucking forever, and on the MAGA base, they were getting mad about it. Well, I realized he couldn't have done it first thing, because then the Democrats would have just been immediately like, oh, this is fake and all this shit. He had to make them scream for it and get everybody riled up and demand it, and then say, okay, fine, I'll release it. So that way, look who's come. Look at what's happening when they're all burning down to the ground. He could say, no, you asked for this. You wanted this. You demanded it. And so that's I'm saying I'm choosing to believe he's doing something strategic because I know Trump loves to be the popular guy. He's not going to want to lose half of his MAGA.
Yeah. He loves to have the publicity.
He's
Yeah,
got to be
absolutely.
doing something because that's the only thing that hurts him. I have to take a quick break for 1 second and read a ad from our friends over here.
I'm take a rip.
So sorry. Or maybe not because the system is being crazy. Oh, feel free to do that on camera. You're good if you want to.
Okay, cool.
I do it. Shit. You can do as I do on here, or you might not want to. But
Well, I haven't seen you do it on this. I've seen it do it on your own personal ones, but
let me see, where are we at? Okay.
I just didn't want to upset your.
There we go. No, you're good. I'll have a puff with you. Cheers. Skull. I would say skull, but we aren't in battle right now. So if you just get a skull. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Skull.
Yeah, okay. He can hear me. All right. I got twisted up on the production board trying to find your video. I was like, shit, we lost a man down. I was about to send smoke signals to Ryan. But I got it. All right. So what did it feel like coming home and re-entering like normal life? Seeing your kid and everything?
I'm actually still getting used to everything
Ah.
a year out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, and anyone that tells you different, that's went through what I went through, I don't really believe them because
What if
there's,
they say
there's
what now?
moments that I feel like I'm still in prison and I've got
that's
to
the PTSD.
freaking watch everything around me and be on guard. There's moments where things just trigger you. Yeah, it was wild when I first got out and I talked to my mom on the phone. I was out. I threw up, you know, it was just
Seth.
It was just surreal. Yeah, it was just wild. You know, it's hard to explain.
No,
but
I totally get it. Actually, I don't know if you know this. I'm a psychologist. I'm also a former Army wife. And so the stress hormones that you experienced in jail is the same as if you had been in battle and at war for an extended period of time. So for you to be constantly checking your six, I mean, that's normal. I mean, it's only been a year. When you compare, it's only a quarter of the time that you spent in there. And
well, I'm a pretty aware guy anyway, but yeah.
Oh, I can tell. I can definitely tell. You were definitely the one. Seeing that you were with John, getting to know you guys that weekend, I was like, yeah, he's the one that keeps everything on track.
I love you, John, by the way.
Yeah, he's great. We'll keep him just the way he is. But it was just but that's how it goes. Some of the best friendships come out of like having the two opposites together because John, I'm sure, brings you out of your shell a little bit.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, you had no problem doing that. I just changed. You know? So I just grew up, you know.
Oh, did you get old?
I didn't get old. I grew up.
Man, it's like Peter Pan, man. I don't want to grow up. Now that I'm fully into being a grown up, and although I just got ripe at 40, I want to go back. I want to be like, I could be like 10 again. That was fun. 10 to 14.
Yeah. That would be great. 10 to 14, that would be awesome.
Uh-huh.
Those were really good. Yeah, those were really good years in my life. Yeah.
I would have focused better on certain things though. If I could go back and change, tell myself a little whisper in the ear.
Man.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, you're really good with blood and animals, so be a vet.
I like that. So you're talking taxidermy, right?
Oh, that's too far. So whenever I've gone hunting, I've had to always take a moment with myself to like get my heart and my mind separated there and kind of be a little disassociated from what I was doing. So that way my mind could take over and talk about why I needed to do this, why I needed to know these things, why, you know, because even with hunting, like I could be starving. And I've been to that place before, starving. I could be starving and probably still have like feel like terrible that I'm killing an animal. Like I just, you know what I mean? I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it just,
Especially
it's
if it
gut
starts
wrenching.
squealing or like whining, you know, and you have to shoot it again. Something.
It's what I've realized is the people like me that make some of the best, most accurate shooters, because I don't want to see that shit. I don't want them to suffer.
Yeah.
And my brother traumatized me with that, playing with guns when mom and dad went home. And he shot a bird at a low, it was a high powered like BB gun, you know, it shoots like CO2, whatever. But he shot this bird, but like he shot it and it just like kept multiple shots bouncing off the feathers and breaking these birds' bones. And so this thing is like on the ground. And my first experience with taking a life was him running inside being like, oh, no, you gotta help me. Him lying to me that my grandmother's dog did it. And I didn't call him out right then and there, but I certainly gave him the eyes. And I snatched the gun from him after he gave me a short synopsis of the condition of the bird. I just grabbed it from him and I was like, next time. And I took the CO2 out and I pumped it up till I had to use like every last square inch of muscle in my arm and close it. And
you got to pump it like 3 or 4 times. You know?
No, this was like 15 times. I pumped that motherfucker up. And so I went and I looked at him and I was like, against the feathers. And I like shot it in the back of the head to put it out of his misery. And I was just like, and I just shoved the gun back in his face and stomped inside. I was so mad. So I don't know if that's probably tied to it, but you know.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. First bird I ever shot was a blue jay.
So. It was a blue jay. Mine was the same thing.
Yeah.
What is it with you boys and birds and guns? Like, what is
I don't know.
It's like I'm now coming to think this is probably in a lot of men's stories as boys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the second bird I ever shot was on my grandmother's property, and I was very young, and it ended up being a hummingbird. But
wow.
I also give myself credit because this thing was moving through the air.
Yeah.
You guys know how
it's impressive.
Hummingbirds move through the air, so
that's impressive.
I was cool with that.
You waited for it to stand perfectly still.
They took it away from me after that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good mama and daddy.
I know. Yeah, I'm glad they did too.
Yeah. So what do you think the moving on? What do you think the biggest, other than like the normal environment stuff, like what do you think the biggest change was? How do I want to ask this question? So you talked about like wanting to look over your shoulder and stuff. What's the I guess the one that really was surprising to you, or what's the biggest change you've had? I don't know how I'm trying to ask this, but
what was
or bothers?
surprising?
Yeah, like what changes after were the most like notable? That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Well, just I think it's more so solidified me in my beliefs.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I think it.
Good answer.
Yeah, and I'm more motivated and determined to meet my goals because I've lost time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just realizing the amount of shit that I went through while I was locked up and how it has affected me out in the real world and how I've tried to correct it since I've been out. So, been working on that.
That's why I've changed kind of how I talk to others about their bad experiences. And I don't think I would have been able to do that without going through bad experiences and learning how to change and reframe it in the mind. You go this bad, dark stuff that we go through, those are gifts. Those are gifts. You will always learn something from it. Whether you came out barely alive or you came out like Superman, you will definitely learn where you're weak. And that is very valuable knowledge.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just trying to be real with you guys. So, I mean,
yeah,
that was definitely a realization of mine. So,
yeah, it makes you, I mean, I think the bad things, once you kind of come out with that conviction, it just makes life easier a little bit. Like it takes it down a notch because you're just like, what? Well, I don't know what could get me now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I could relax a little now. Shit.
Yeah.
At least trying to be positive about those things. Because I could have asked you that question and you could have told me, not that there would be a problem with it, but it could have just been like blue and doom and gloom. But you're like, nah, man, like I'm more convicted. So how do you think you would do if it happened again?
Well, I definitely have boyfriends again. That would be great.
All right. So you were the top, taking note.
No, that's a joke.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that's all January 6th was, though. It was just, a bunch of gay sex when we all got locked up. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'd want to go back too.
I'm just kidding. I just remember the interview John and I did with you a while ago. That was funny.
Oh, yes.
But,
yes, that was fun too.
Just trying to lighten it up a little bit. But what's the one thing? Say it again.
It was just like, well, you kind of answered it. Like, what was the most notable life change since your release? And you said just that you were more convicted in your beliefs.
That is the truth, yes.
That's pretty deep. That is pretty deep. I'm going through my questions and I'm like, we've kind of naturally gone through a lot of them. Do you think your case was just about politics or something else?
I honestly, I took it personal, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of politics in it, and if it wasn't me, I do know that it would have been somebody else.
Yeah.
I do know that they were tracking people online prior through Facebook and other social media platforms,
mm-hmm.
putting stuff out there like we're doing this on January 6th, we're doing that.
Yeah.
And they were trying to draw people in and seeing who were engaging. So there was that element of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's with the FISA court as well. They were going out and they were activating all of these. They were activating all of these assets under COVID emergency rules,
mm-hmm.
and so you had this hyper active Homeland Security kind of what do you call it? Intelligentsia state, and they were going out and targeting people online, and they knew exactly who to look for on January 6th, and that's the type of state that I think we're living in, and that's the way that I understand my rights have been violated. But
it's just crazy to me that we live in a world where a government can determine what rights you do have and just throw away the agreed upon rights that were drafted the way it was drafted, because these, in our Constitution, these are rights that are granted by God because they're your natural rights. They're just natural rights, like that any sentient being has the right to have. Like, and we're just live in a world where people get to decide. They just, people.
It happens to people all the time, and I see people going away, especially in the federal system, because
mm-hmm.
the rules of the court are a lot different. But I saw people in prison that do not even belong to be there. They've been there for over 20 years. It's just a sad thing. So yeah, the total system actually needs to be reformed.
Sunny, thank you, Sunny, for your comment. Sunny said, I feel like this page is being shadow banned. There should definitely be more people watching American flag. So there's been a couple hundred people that have strolled through over the last hour and 20 minutes. My page is not being shadow banned. I am obsessed with checking about that. I'm really good citizen on Meta Universe. My page is getting 1.6 million views in a month's time.
Nice.
And yeah, so I appreciate the
You're feeling
concern
good.
and the love, Sonny, and the compliment that's really actually woven into your comment. I appreciate it. Tell all your friends, Sonny. They should be watching. Tell all your friends. Ain't nothing wrong with talking about politics, reacting to memes with a little lipstick and tits. We hear all these idiots blabbing. I was like, no, once my kid got taken from me, I was like, enough is enough. I'm very good at making noise. So, we're small, but we'll keep going. Even if it's one person that is sticking around for my 2-hour show every night, then I'll keep doing it. Because we need an army, man. We need an army. All right. Man.
We do.
Trying to think. We've covered everything. What would you say to other people who are afraid of the system right now?
Well, I think that's probably a healthy fear, but you need to face your fears and get out there, get involved locally,
Ooh,
and
face your fears, bitches. Don't be soft.
no, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's what I would say. Get out there, try something that you usually wouldn't be comfortable doing. So,
No, I think it's great. That's why I was saying, do you all hear that? Don't be bitches. Like, I really think that's a big part of it. I wanted to ask that question because I think when we were talking about earlier, where's all the protests from the right? It's like, yeah, he said it. You heard it from the mouth. Face your damn fears, because we got a lot more bigger problems coming than you just being afraid to confront a cop. You know what I mean?
You got to stand on your square. And
Yes. Well, you seem to be a very resilient person. I hope you go on to mentor other young men more than just, your own son. There needs to be a lot more men in the world like that are spiritual and have values, and is God first. That's what makes you able to survive those things. So just go on and spread that thinking to other young men.
I will.
Alrighty. Is there anything that we can let our audience know that helps you out? Like a GoFundMe or anything? No?
Nope, no GoFundMe. I'm doing pretty good right now, so right. I don't need a GoFundMe or anything, but I appreciate it.
I didn't know if you would have needed it for legal fees or anything, but because I really hope you sue what's her fuck face or the drunk ass up there. Pelosi.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the DOJ, the FBI, the DOC. Yes, there's a lot of lawsuits going to be filed, and that is what I'm focused on right now, and just expanding my business, and getting put into trusts and privatizing my life. So once again, that's sacred honor ef.com, and then I want to make sure that people do know about Stand in the Gap Foundation. Mm-hmm. That's Shane Jenkins. He's another J6er. And then also, obviously, John Mellis at wearegoodmen.com. So, but I'm okay on the GoFundMe and everything. You guys take care, and thanks for coming to see me get drunk online. So I really appreciate it.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
All right.
It was good to have you.
All right.
We'll see you soon. You can come on anytime.
All right. Thanks, Luna.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Okay. Hang on, folks. I got him muted while he's in the waiting room. I don't know how to... Do I just hit X on this control room? Do I just close the control room down right here?
You can just he'll hang up whenever he hangs up. Yeah, you can close it.
So I can close it?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Well, that was a great interview. I'm pretty pleased. He was a joy. Man. He started asking the questions, answering the questions as I had it written out. I was like, I love when they make it easy. But that's the reality, folks. One common theme that I have learned in my life is that you ain't gonna get through any of this shit without faith of something. It's something. I don't care. I want you to have faith. I don't care if it's faith in a rock that you like to go sit on every day. If as long as you got that, then you got something to fight for, because this earth and this world both need that. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you were able to take something from it. Looking at Nina in the chat. Appreciate your support, Nina. And Sunny says it was very interesting having someone who actually went through the jail process as a J6er. I wanted to ask if he was able to file a federal lawsuit or no. He is doing that now. He is filing a lawsuit now. So, anywho, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Fan of the day. Sunny to be blessed. You are fan of the day. Producer Ryan will reach out to you. You will get a signed, autographed show notes sent to you. Christ forever, I see you. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, Christ. You gotta remind me. All right. I will see you guys later. Let me send this. Nina. Actually, Nina. Yes. All right. Let me get this. I got a warning that this is a blind raid. Appreciate the warning. All right, all of you, Rumbletown. Nina, you are up due for a fan of the day. Come hang out with me more often, Miss Nina, so you can win it. All right. Cheers, friends. Hope you have a good night. Stand for your morals. Shit's getting crazy out there. With that, I bid you adieu. Mwah.